In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how you can think yourself into perfect health. Hi again everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name's Rick, and my aim is to help you realize the truth that feeling great really can be your natural state. So, in this video, I'm going to give you a brief but somewhat scientific overview of genes, including what they are, how they're expressed, their relevance in your everyday life, your sense of well-being, and how you can actively, consciously take control and use this knowledge to optimize your health completely. Classically, in years gone by, it was thought that there was a gene for basically everything in the human body, for everything to do with appearance, your state of health, for producing every form of cell, organ, system, everything. So before the gene, okay, I'll back up a little bit. There was actually a project several decades ago which was started called the Human Genome Project, and that's where all the genes were to be mapped out, sequenced. And the scientists thought there would be at least 300,000. That's what they predicted. At least 300,000 genes would be needed to do everything within the human body. But it turns out, surprisingly, that there was actually only 23,500 genes in the body. And that didn't make any sense, because the scientists believed, still do to this day, that there are over 100,000 proteins within the human body, and the proteins form basically the building blocks of everything within the human body. They're found in every tissue, every cell, every organ, basically everything within the body. So, what did this mean? Well, what it meant was there are more proteins than genes, which meant that the genes had to work in different combinations and express themselves in different patterns in order to create proteins. So think of it like several different switches, like 3, 4, 5 different switches in a panel, and you can have different combinations of the switches being on or off. That's basically what genes could be. You could have 5 genes coding for a protein, let's say, but if you have genes 1, 3, and 4 turned on, that might make one form of protein, whereas if you turn on genes 2, 3, and 5, that will make a different protein. So the genes work in different combinations, and depending if one gene is expressed or suppressed, that will create, therefore, a different protein. So what is the relevance of this to your everyday life, you might be wondering? Well, look at it this way. If there is a certain disease which is prevalent in a certain family, people within that family will subconsciously think, it'll be programmed into their head that they are more likely to get a certain disease, and probably more often than not that will come to pass. But if they believe that, well, I have this gene, therefore I'm going to get this disease, well, why didn't they have the disease right away from birth? This is where epigenetics comes into play. Epigenetics is, well, think of the epigene or the epigenome. That is above the genome. The genome is the word for all of the genes within the human body. Therefore, the epigenome or epigenetics is above the gene or above genetics. And very, very, very simply, what it is, well, it's a relatively new field of study within science, but specifically what it is the theory that genes are influenced by our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our behaviors, our lifestyle, our choices, our environment. Did I say that? Basically everything. Everything which, well, a lot of things we do have control over. Our environment, our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our beliefs, things that we do, and some things which we don't have control over. But it's thought now that 95% of all genetic or inherited diseases are actually a result of the epigenome or epigenetics. Therefore, these diseases are thought to manifest by lifestyle choices. Now, not all of these things are related to choices. Obviously, there can be some environmental issues or factors which you cannot avoid. For instance, if you grew up or in a polluted city, you'd be more likely to develop tuberculosis or maybe certain cancers, maybe a lung cancer, things like that there. So, yes, that is maybe unavoidable, well, unless you move away, but the point is that is based on your environment. Your environment is affecting your genes, therefore epigenetics, above the gene. There are about 5% of genetic diseases which genuinely are hereditary. They are literally manifested by your genes and not by any choice or any lifestyle. But that is the vast, vast, vast minority of diseases, unlike what the mainstream media and general society would have us believe, which is they would have you believe you're the victim of your genes, but that is not the truth, that is not the fact, that is not the reality. Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot. David Sinclair talks about this a lot. There are lots of other geneticists, physiologists, biologists, medical doctors who have talked about this topic a lot as well. So, what does this mean for you in your everyday life? Well, basically, in a nutshell, your thoughts determine your health, your well-being, your sense of wellness. This is where it becomes really important to become aware of your thoughts. If you can get to the point where 51% of your thoughts are generally positive or constructive, you reach a tipping point where you start to optimize things. You give yourself a better chance. If you're constantly or continually pessimistic, what will happen is you're thinking these negative thoughts, which are the language of the brain. These will translate into negative emotions, which are the language of the body. These negative emotions actually alter the cellular makeup within your body also, and not least of all, the molecular makeup of the water within your body, and the body is like 65-70% water, maybe a bit more. I'll need to fact check that. And it was Masaru Emoto in his book, Water. That's not the official name of the book. I can't quite remember the name of the book, but it was Masaru Emoto. He discovered, he's a Japanese physiologist, he discovered that emotions actually altered the physical composition of water molecules. Positively charged emotions created symmetrical and visually pleasing water molecular shapes, whereas negative, hateful, destructive emotions, they created ugly or asymmetrical molecular shapes of water. And this is all there, it's all been proven, it's been done. So if you're generally in a positive state, just think of the effect that will have on your body. Your health will reflect this positive mindset and purity, and in turn, whenever these emotions are positive, they will create feedback or provide feedback to your brain, to your mind, where you'll have more positive thoughts. So basically, it starts off positive thoughts in your head, it creates positive emotions in your body, which in turn will create more positive thoughts in your head. Oh, you're feeling good, therefore you're thinking you're feeling good, which is terrific. So you've got a positive feedback loop. Conversely, if you have a negative thought in here, this will create a negative feeling in your body, which could be an upset stomach, it could be heartburn, it could be nausea, it could be whatever. And again, that will in turn create more negative thoughts in your mind. So again, that's a negative feedback loop. To quote Earl Nightingale in his book, The Strangest Secret, a man becomes what he thinks about most. Are you thinking about health? Are you thinking about well-being, success, love, peace, joy, enlightenment, whatever? Or are you thinking about destruction, negativity, sorrow, anger, misery, apathy, despair, hopelessness, lust, whatever? Is your cup half full or is it half empty? If you have a positive mindset and you generally think more positive thoughts than negative, that's only going to help you, your mind, your body, your health, your well-being, everything. And likewise, if you think the opposite will happen. If you constantly think that you're healthy and you're thankful for the health that you have, you'll manifest more and more and more of that. And it will be reflected in your DNA, your molecular makeup. It'll be reflected in your appearance, your life, your lifestyle. The writing is on the wall. You are what you believe you are. If you think good things, embrace it fully. Charge your being with that divine purity. It will completely and utterly change your life, transform your health, and maintain that health. Anyway, you've nothing to lose. Costs you nothing to try it. Just do it. Just be it. Have it. And watch the miracles unfold. Anyway, I hope you gained some degree of value from this video today, as always. And again, thanks for watching. All the best, and take care.